All right, guys, so I'm going to show you how I made these faux Labradorite cabochons right here. And here is a real cabochon for example. You can see the similarities and the differences and everything. And I mean, I have work to do to get them better, but I think that they are definitely on the right track, and I love every single one of them. They're all gorgeous in their own unique way, just like each Labradorite is gorgeous in their own unique way. I absolutely love how they look, the flash. Look at the flash on that. Oh, it's so pretty. Anyway, so I'm going to start showing you guys. Those are some of the other ones. I made some kind of like dragon's eyes. Anyway, these are still in the process of drying, so I got to set them aside. So here are, I'm going to use these three cabochons right here for an example. And I wanted to show you this. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but you see this, there's a big dip in there. So when you get your cabochons brand new, definitely watch out for things like that. I can't use this thing. It's a 50 millimeters. This is a doggone huge. This is a 25 millimeter. Look at the difference in the size. And I only got 20 of these, so it really made me sad that I can't use that. But if you get one like this, you know what? Hey, you can always use that to practice on. I just would not sell this to a customer. I wouldn't even give it away or nothing, okay? I would be too scared. But I just wanted to kind of point that out because I actually found it just a few minutes ago, and I was like, oh yeah, I want it. Yeah, let's do that. So, as I said, this is a 25 millimeter glass cabochon. This one's a 30 millimeter, and this one is a 30 by 40 millimeter. So far, I've only made these in 30 millimeter size. Okay, so this one's going to be, the 25 millimeter is going to be kind of a new experience. Hopefully, it'll be about the same because it's not much different size. And the 40 by 30 is going to be a new experience again as well for me to do. So for tools and materials, obviously you need the cabochons. I have my awl right here that I will be using. You also need nail polish. I found this bottle of Revlon. It's a color shift holographic nail polish. It is number 120 Amethyst Smoke, if you can see that. Hopefully, maybe. There we go. I immediately, when I saw this color, it immediately made me think of a Labradorite, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta make a faux Labradorite. I have to try at least. So you want that color, and you want a couple of others. You know, you want some blue, some green, maybe a little bit orange. Excuse me. Maybe a little bit of purple, maybe a little bit of black. You know, because with Labradorites, they're not all one color. If you get one that's all one color, it's kind of boring, you know. So I'm getting a few of my colors out. I'm still kind of limited to what colors I actually do have. So you kind of have to bear with me on that a little bit, you know. Let's see, I still need my black. Yes, I'm not prepared. I apologize. I am horrible. I know. But, okay, so here's my black. I love this one because it has the, really fine tip brush on it. So that is going to be really, really handy if you decide that you want to make one more like this. That is what I did with this one. I used a little bit of black and I painted some of those lines on there. And if you look on the back of it, you can see I also scratched. It's kind of hard to see, but I also scratched just to kind of give it a little bit more detail, because with labradorites you can tell that the cracks and whatnot that's in there, they're different layers, you know, they're in different dimensions from each other, and so you don't want it all to look the same, and it's kind of hard to do with something like this, but it's not totally impossible to get done. So I've got my Amethyst Smoke color that I'll be using. I'm also going to put in a little extra green. This is actually a color that I made myself. It was actually just a clear top coat, and I just mixed a few different colors of green in there with it to get the shade that I wanted. So you're probably not going to find this one if you look for it, so just so you know. I've also got this Wet n Wild Megalast orangey color. What is it? D197 Luck a la Orange. So that way if anybody wants to know. I love it because it's so glittery and shimmery, and it's just a really pretty color. So then I've got the LA colors. This one is, let's see, Spat is what color this one is, Spat. That way anybody who wants to know. It kind of looks more yellow on screen, whereas it looks more orange to me. And then I've got this little one. I don't have a lot of yellow, so this is the only yellow that I really kind of have. And of course it's a little Hello Kitty one, and I don't know what color it is. I don't believe it says it on here anywhere. So it's just, woo, and there we go. Sorry. It's just like a pearlish, it's a pearlescent type of yellow color. It's really, really pretty, which I figure, you know, those three can kind of blend, so to speak, into one. And then you got the green to match the green that's in there. But I get a little bit of blue. I think I'm going to use this this blue right here, which it is Hard as Nails Extreme Wear. Let me find the color. 480, the Real Teal. So that is the name of the color of this one that I'm going to use. And do I want to add any purple to it? I think I will. And I think I'm going to use this one. This is NYC brand. And Purple Pizzazz Frost. It's right there on front. No. Purple Pizzazz Frost. I like this one because it does have the little bit of glitter in there. A very fine glitter in there. So that'll be a really kind of a little bit more of a color shift. And I actually have not put any purples in any of these so far. This will be the first one I put a purple in, because in certain shades this actually does reflect a purple color. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. And you always want to make sure that you shake up your bottles of nail polish really, really well, okay? I will wipe off one side of the tip, and what I do, create a line. Turn it, move it, and then you can just kind of go in different areas and create different directional lines. You can do half lines, whatever you may want. I just realized I was off camera. I do apologize. But yeah, and you may have to dip it back in a little bit. Okay. So I'm just taking my brush and brushing on lines. I'm going to create a curved one. Okay. That's all you do. Now, I think with my oval cabochon, I don't think I'm going to paint any lines with the black polish. I think I'm just going to leave that with scratching alone. So, gonna, look at there. That kind of creates a little line like this one has. One big thick one is what I want right here in the middle. And I don't know why this polish is not old, but it's acting old. But what can you do sometimes? I'm just painting on random marks here and there, whatever you like, as little or as much as you like, as much as you want. Because of course nature does not have straight lines all the time, you know, so there's that. So with this now, you do not necessarily have to let it dry, though you can. So with that, I am going to let it dry just a little bit, and I'm going to start with this one with this. Okay. And you just kind of want to paint here and there. Nothing too specific. You don't want too much polish on your brush, but you do want to have enough. If you don't want stroke marks, you could always come in and dab it if you would like to. One thing I have noticed with any polish that has glitter in it, it tends to turn out a little clear. Like you can barely even see on there that I've even put any polish on there. But you saw I, put a pretty good amount of polish on there. And I know it's kind of hard to see when I'm far away. And I apologize about that. So, trying to stay on camera, let you guys see what I'm doing. You can paint the whole thing if you want. You can just paint in one little area if you want. So there you can see pretty well where I've got that. I'll kind of show you this one a little bit. So right there you can't see it too much, but like that you can see it pretty good. So now I'm going to do this one. I want to get a little bit off the sides, but I don't want too much off the sides. And coming through just wherever I please. Get a little bit more polish on there. Because once I get other colors on here, I'm going to coat the whole thing with this Amethyst Smoke color. So I'm going to set that one over here. Put these back over here. Now that these have had a little bit of time to dry a little bit. Okay, now we're going to come through. I'm actually going to come through with the orange. Wet n Wild. I like this because it does have this special little brush. As you can see, it's got a flat brush. Okay, instead of a regular. It's really nifty. Really, really neat. So I'm just going to come in. Just going to put a little bit on there. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Just a little bit here and there. I'm going to put a little tiny bit over here. That's it. Nothing too much, nothing too fancy. Then I'm going to come through on this one just a little bit right there. And I'm going to do a little area over here. And I'm off camera again. I'm sorry. Try to stay on camera. There we go. So that way you can see. I put just a little bit on that one, not a lot. And then the last one. Let's see. Going to put a little right here. And you don't want to overdo it on there either, because you got to think of how many nail polish colors you're going to want on there. You're going to think about the look. So that's why I'm only putting a little bit of this orange, because I want the orange, I want this orange to blend in with this orange, which is going to blend in with this yellow, okay? So, shake up your nail polish really good. Alright. And open this one up. When I got this one, I actually got this used from someone, which is absolutely fine with me, but it was kind of clumpy, so I ended up having to add some clear polish to it, and it helped tremendously. So this is going to kind of blend a little bit with the orange that was already there. Blend this one. You can see I've got a little bit of polish right there that's kind of just hanging out, so I'm going to kind of bring it down a little bit. Okay, I've got that one done. I'm going to dip my brush again, wipe a lot of it away, but not all of it. Again, I'm going to come around this orange to kind of blend it a little bit. And I need to get just a little bit more. When I only need a little bit, you see what I'm doing. I'm just getting a little bit from the side of the cap part. I don't want to get too much. And just going to blend it a little bit. Okay, so you can kind of see how that one turned out. And then dipping it one more time. And now we are almost done with the orangey yellow. And do right here. Okay. There's that. All right. And we're done with this one. So now I'm going to come in with the Hello Kitty Yellow. That's what I'm calling it. It's just going to be called Hello Kitty Yellow from now on. So here's this one. And if you can actually see that, which I don't know if you could or not, but you can, it's probably really hard to tell, but it does have a pearlescent type of look to it, and it's really pretty. It really, really is pretty. I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of these nail polishes, and I think especially like this one, I mean, it is made more for children, but I definitely smell more of a candy type smell. And that might not be wise to market towards children, but it's definitely pretty doggone neat when you're doing something like this and you're working a lot with nail polishes and stuff, and that way it doesn't have a really strong odor. So that I think that's kind of neat. But if you have children, definitely beware of that, just so you know. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that one. You can see how that one's looking so far. Okay. And you can see that each one of these is looking totally different from the other, even though I am doing similar techniques, similar different little things. They all have their own look, you know. It's just whatever you choose to do with yours, if you're doing this, if you want to do this. And finishing up this last one. Get that around. Oh, and I went off camera again. I'm sorry. I have a lot to learn being a YouTube video creator. A tutorial creator. That's done with that one. Alright. So now, you don't necessarily have to sit and wait and let that dry, because you got to think about it. We just finished with this one. This one was drying in the process until I got to this one. So, it's not 100% necessary. But you can sit and wait and let it dry. So now I'm going to come in with my green, because the green will blend more with the blue and the purple rather than doing it any other, way. So this is the color of green that I made and have chosen. You can use whatever shades that you wish to use. You don't have to copy me. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of put this one kind of in the middle. And see, I went off camera again. I'm sorry. Gosh. So you can see how I did. I put a little bit right here, dabbing it along in that area. You can kind of see that right there. I'm going to get just a little bit more polish. And I'm going to put just a little over here. Alright. And actually, I think I am going to go ahead and do this right here. Alright. There we go. Okay. One down. Two to go. Dip my brush again. Now, again, we're starting off with a fresh spot. So, just going to kind of go anywhere I please. And that's what I'm going to do there. I'm going to put a little bit right there. Let's see. Where else? I think I'm going to bring this all the way over here, and I think I'm going to actually come down right here a little bit. So that way you can kind of see that a little bit right there. You definitely have to have patience for things like this. I'm going to come in right there on the 25, on the quarter sized cab. I'm actually going to bring that around like that and connect it. That'll give a pretty neat effect, I think. Alright, I'm just going to put a little bit right there. I'm actually going to kind of make it just a little bit darker. Alright, so there's that one. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with the blue. I'm going to move these over. And the brushes on these, I have to say, are kind of flat, but not entirely. Now, I will say that this does have a bit of a stronger odor than that Hello Kitty. Most definitely stronger. It's just coming in a little bit. You don't have to fill up every little spot, though you can if you choose. Okay. And let's see. Do a little bit right there. A little bit right there. And right there. Okay. Alright, I got that one. Now I'm going to dip my brush again. Okay. Let's see. My green is right here. Oops. I was covering it up. I'm sorry. Gosh. Don't hate me, please. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Hate me because I'm stupid. No, I'm playing. Oh. I'll just hate me because I don't know what I'm doing. That's why. So I'm not going to put a lot of blue on this one, but you see, I did put some. And I'm going to put even less on this one because it is such a smaller cab. And I'm going to do that right there. Alright, so I'm going to go in just a little right here, a little bit right here, actually going to kind of blend that a little bit more. And I think I'm going to randomly put a little bit right over here. Alright, so there's that. So now, last one, purple. Okay, shake it up really good. Of course, all labradorites don't have all of these colors in every single cabochon. This is just what I'm choosing to do. You can use, like I said, your own colors, your own methods, whatever you choose. I'm just showing you how I do mine, okay? And you can do just like I do, or you can do your own thing. Just use my suggestions and do your own, you know, no big deal. So I'm coming in right here, up there, kind of going in there a little bit, dip back in, and right here. Right, I think I'm done with that one, and then the last one, coming in about right there, right here, and just doing a little spot right over here. Alright, now that I've got that done, here is the next secret. Take you some, let's see, hold on. You can take some tissue paper, toilet paper, paper towel, napkin, whatever you want to do. Okay, and you are quite literally, you're going to set it on there. And I know you're thinking, hold on, you just put the nail polish on there and now you are taking it off. And see, that one didn't work as well because it's already dried. So we're going to do this one super quick before it completely dries. And this is for a reason, because you will see, not the colors in the labs are not this bright, okay? They're not. They're just plain not. So by doing this, you are removing some of that polish, okay? So what I'm going to try, because I've not made, got to get it out from elsewhere, because this is the first time that I actually have made more than one, literally at one time. All these others I did individually, okay, and that's how I was able to do that. But when you are painting with nail polish, when you reapply another layer of polish, it actually re-wets the bottom layers, and it kind of reacts to it and stuff like that. So this is what we're going to try. So we're trying this together, seriously. So, you know, I'm getting a very generous amount of clear polish over the top of this, or rather the bottom. And now, that's what I'm doing. Let's see how this goes. I'm just firmly pressing in all areas. That's all I'm doing. Okay. And it does have a really pretty rainbow look. I do happen to like that. That, you know, I have to admit. So, look at there. Do you see all that polish it just pulled off? Okay. But you see how clear it is, and you see that there is still color on there. Okay. That's what we want. Okay. That's going to better emulate an actual labradorite. Okay. So from here, you've already got the idea. These two just still have the lines as the cracks and stuff. So we're just going to work with this one right now to save time. And now we're going to go back with the Amethyst Smoke. Now, if you want to make any of these colors more pronounced than what they are right now, now's the time to do it. I am not doing that. I am backing all of this polish with this amethyst smoke that emulates the labradorite look. At least it does to me. I really, really love it. I'm serious. I laid eyes upon this polish and I immediately fell in love. Now I will say, if you can see right there, a little bit of tissue paper actually stayed on the cabochon, and that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen with tissue paper, toilet paper. It does not matter what you do. It's probably gonna happen with any of it. So beware of that. If you do that, it's going to happen. There's not a lot you can do about it. Okay. I am making sure I get my cab completely covered. If you don't want the strokes, then you can dab it. I do not care if I have strokes. And so that's what I'm doing. Now let's see. Do you see that? Do you see that? Oh, and it's so pretty. But we're still not done, okay? We are still not done. We still have to create the cracked look in there, okay? So we have to let this dry for just a couple of minutes. And while we're letting that dry, now I am going to come in with this one, and I'm going to back it with the clear polish so I can get some of that color off of there. And this is the only purpose that this clear polish will serve for these. Again, you do not have to do this part. You do it if you want to. But I'm doing it to take off a good portion of the nail polish that I've applied. Okay. So again, it almost looks like an Easter egg right there. That's a pretty cute Easter egg, I have to say. You know, just making sure you get everywhere that you want to take it off. And then gently peel. Try to get as much of the paper as you can off, and then look at there. You know, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, it could have, woo! Ah! And it's, be careful. Because, so they will withstand quite a bit. So, it didn't take as much of this orange and yellow off as what I wanted. So, what I'm going to do is paint a little bit more clear polish right here. Just to really get that wet really good. And then I'm just going to take right there and peel. And you see how much it got. Now let's see how bright that is. It's still pretty bright, but that's okay. We can deal with that. It's alright. So I'm going to set this one aside. Come back with the amethyst. And paint it up. Now, if you remember, like I said, we're not done with that one. We're letting it dry for a few minutes because we did put quite a bit of this amethyst on there. And you will see what we will be doing here in a minute. Of course, I come around the edges. I want to make sure my edges are covered pretty well. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that already. Oh! I'm telling you, I love this color. Oh, I'm so glad I found it. Makes me want to go to Walmart and get another one. That way I don't run out. So now, we're going to go ahead, while this one's drying. This one has... It's kind of still tacky, but that's okay. That is alright. I really love it. Love how it looks just like this right here. But, oh, see, it wasn't quite as dry as I thought it was. That's okay. That's alright. So now we're going to come in with our awl. And you don't have to use a fine point on it. You could actually use any kind of tool. You could come in with a toothpick, with, you know, a piece of wire, something that has more of a beveled edge on it. Anything that you want to do. This is your project. You are working on it. I'm working on this one, okay? So, to create the scratching look, okay, and I'll show you on this one if you can kind of see. You can see on the back here the scratches. This one had no black paint like I did with this one, okay? No black paint. That's all using the awl and scratching the paint off, okay? That's how I did that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to come in. You do want to make sure you take the paint off as you go. You can kind of, because guess what? It's not straight lines in nature, okay? And tip. It's also not all connecting lines either. And right there. Right there. And then you can come in and do some lighter lines. Whatever you want to do. Look, it already is doing one thing that I was going to do for me. Okay. Do whatever you wish. Again, it is your project. You are the one doing this. Okay. So I think I'm going to stop right there. You can see how much I've scratched. Okay. And it kind of clogged up right there. I didn't mean for it to. Now we're going to turn it over. Look at that. Already. Don't that look gorgeous? So now when you do this, now you have some options, okay? You can come back in with a color that you've already used, okay? And that's kind of what happened with this one. Or you can come in with a new color, or you can just use a black, okay? That's what I did with these. When I scratched it, I filled it in with a black. So it's kind of hard to see because the colors actually was supposed to be, the scratches were thinner, and I was trying to make that dimensional look. Let the paint lines be the more pronounced lines of them, and let the scratches be the less pronounced lines, okay? That was what my intention was trying to do. So, that's what we're going to try to do with this one. I think I'm going to come in with a darker blue this time, once I can find it. I've got it here somewhere. Right here. Okay, so I'm going to come in with this dark blue. It's a 903 Sassy Chic. I think I got it at like a Dollar Tree or something. Yeah, just 903. That's all it says. 903. Just so you know. No, nothing on there. Nothing on there. That's all it is. Number 903. So we're going to come in, of course, again, shake it up really good. Especially because, like, the way I'm looking at my stone right here, I see a really deep, beautiful blue in there. This will do the trick for that. Seriously. And we're literally going to fill in these lines, so you want to make sure any lines get the most attention of the polish. Okay, and this is going to give you a second effect, and then you're also kind of going to back it because you've got so many lines going on in here. You do want to make sure you get them all filled in very well. Okay. Now, you see, I'm not wiping off the sides of my brush because at this point I need a good bit of polish. Now, this time I did, but you need a good bit of polish to fill in all of those cracks and scrapes and stuff on the glass. And filling it last little bit in right there. So now we're going to just let it dry for just a minute, And of course, you're going to get polish on your fingers. There's not really too much of anything that you can do about that. But I also, part of why I like this color, again, it kind of, in a ways, has like a color shift effect because it's glittery. But it's not a thick glittery. I've got a lot of polishes that are glittery that I've been given, and I don't like them because they're too thick of a glitter. So here is the front. You see that? Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? The only thing that could be done to make it better is if this was a darker shade when it's painted on. That seriously is the only thing that could make this any better. 100%. So I see some spots that the polish is kind of separated away, so I want to come in right now before it gets too late, and I want to fill all those gaps in. Okay, and I'm just kind of dabbing my brush on there a little bit. I'm not really doing any key strokes or anything like that. Just kind of dabbing it, and also trying to make sure that it's all fairly even on there. And I'm sure I'm getting my head in the way a little bit. I'm sorry. So now that that's done, you can do the same with this one and with this one if you would like. I can definitely say that if you do the scratching with the ones that you've done the black lines on, it will definitely give more of a dimension to it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to leave these alone. We're going to let them sit. We're going to let them dry. We're going to come back to these tomorrow. Usually, especially with how much polish we just added to it, woo, you want to let them dry, I would say a minimum of 6 hours, probably closer to 24, but you do you. So I'm going to come back to these tomorrow to finish this one up, to do more on this one, and we're going to see how this one turns out, definitely for sure. So see you in a little bit. So now it is the next day. We have let this dry. I actually decided I was going to go ahead and do a little bit of scratching on the back of this one. And that's about all I've done. I have not done anything else. I didn't do anything to this one. This one is dried, so now we're going to get to see what the front of this one looks like with all this blue on it. And, ooh, I'm so happy with that. That is so pretty. Like, it's not quite as dark shaded as the real Labradorite, but I mean, I gotta admit, you know, that's just still gorgeous. Both are. Ooh, I'm so happy. So, okay, we're gonna see how we'll do with these. I always keep it turned upside down. Even though it may be dry, it still is, you know, it still may take another day or two, you know. So with this one, I think we're going to go with a darker green for the scratches on this one instead of blue. I'm trying to think, because we don't want to use this color again, the Amethyst Smoke. This one is too blue, because this is the same color we used on this one. What did I do with that color? That's too bright. I know, this is so boring. I'm sorry. I have to find it. It's here somewhere. Right here. Okay, this is a fairly good dark green. This one is 933 Emerald City. Okay. It's not a color shift, but it does have glitter sparkles, and it's, I mean, you know, because it has the glitter, it kind of does like reflect and stuff. So we're gonna use this one on the back of this one. Shake it up really good. And make sure I'm actually going to dip it again. Woo! I got too much. Woo! Lord of mercy. All over my finger. That's okay. So I know you probably cannot see, but you want to make sure you get it in those scratches like really well. And of course, I'm not worried too much about the paint that I got on my finger and any paint that I will be getting on my fingers, because obviously, you know, that's why you want to have a little bit of acetone or nail polish remover or something like that handy, of course. And that way also, if you get any paint on the front of the cabochon, you can take it off. And I just realized I was off camera again. Oh, I'm horrible. All right, so I think that filled in the scratches pretty well, but we'll have to wait just a couple of minutes and kind of let this dry just a little bit before we can definitely see for sure. Clean up my mess. And so, yeah. Alright, so with that being done now, I'm going to go, because this one's not finished, okay, all it's got is that. I'm going to put another coat of the Amethyst Smoke on there. And let's see. Hopefully, I don't know if I was even on camera just then. I need to get better at that, and I do, and I apologize. I apologize so bad. I definitely need, because all I have right now for anything is I have a tripod. I need to get one of those arms that like attaches to the table or something. Because it would help so much. Let's see. Alright. I think I've got that pretty well covered. And the reason why it's kind of bumpy along here and on the sides, that's where we took the tissue paper yesterday and blotted it and took it off. And it just kind of kept a little bit of that tissue paper on there. And you almost can't do anything about that. Now you could use a napkin or a paper towel or something like that, and that might not do the same thing, but it might, you never know. So you could tell this one isn't quite as glossy as it was. So it's dried a little bit, and it looks like it's settled into a lot of those cracks pretty well. So it's still wet, but you see that. So it's a very subtle, it's very, very subtle in there. And I'm trying to figure out where, okay, so we had a deep scratch right there. You see right here? So we're literally, it's right here, so we're going to flip it over, so it's about right there. You can't really tell it too much, but I mean, I'm still happy with the outcome of that. That's still gorgeous. Okay. So now you've gotten to see a real Labradorite, a Labradorite without any black lines across it. This is just with scraping. And then of course this is one with black lines and scraping. And so now you see my method of making your own faux Labradorite cabochons. It's that simple, that easy. It does take a few days because, like I said, you do want to make sure that they have plenty of time to dry before you do anything with them. And so I hope that you learned a lot from this. If you did and you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. And I think for the next tutorial, I'm going to take one of these and probably do some kind of wire wrapping on it for a necklace or something. I don't know yet. But, so keep an eye out for that. Like I said, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments or suggestions, please leave it in the comment section below. If you like what you see and you may want to buy something, I don't sell the actual labradorites, but I can sell the cabochons, the painted cabochons. So if you want to purchase anything, send me a message or visit my Facebook page, which is H&S Designs Now, and you can purchase that way. Still working on an actual website, an actual business website, where we'll have things like this on there. Anything. That one's pretty neat. Looks like it's glow in the dark. Anyway. But, yeah, so I thank you very much for watching. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something good out of it. And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.